I'm going to talk about polyunsaturated fatty acids, arachidonic acid, and EPA due to their competition in cells. So I found these important when it comes to the nervous system for their phospholipid membrane composition, contribution to the composition of it, and their signal transduction properties. So if I bring up an image, this image here is a cell example of what happens when a cytokine or a hormone binds to a receptor. We have this phospholipase A2 activation that will hydrolyze an omega-6 arachidonic acid, ARA if you will, which then comes down these metabolisms, metabolic pathways I should say, and comes out as a icosanoid, pardon me. And then we see our cell-to-cell communication occurring here. Icosanoid. Within the brain, what we see is these polyunsaturated acids being a major component of phosphatidylinosylates, which are involved in the membrane signal transduction. And in this brain, that phospholipase A2 is activated by neurotransmitters, and then our ARA acts as a secondary messenger through a signaling cascade that promotes the communication between our cells. I thought that was pretty neat. But the reason I bring up the EPA is because these guys compete. They compete in three places. They compete because they share an enzymatic pathway. They can compete for their placement in cell membranes, and they compete through the metabolism via the COX, LOX, and CYP. And the reason that we might consider which one to incorporate more into our diet, knowing that there's a competition, we could consider this knowing that omega-6s are associated with inflammation versus an omega-3 is anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is associated with metabolic disease and whatnot. So what does that mean for the proper amount? Well, the optimal ratio of these is going to be 4 to 1. 4 to 1 for optimal health. 2 to 1 in the brain, and this is a 6 to 3, omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Our Western American diet consists of a 10 to 1 ratio though, so we're a little off. This doesn't actually matter for our brain though. It is resistant to diet-induced changes. So I thought all of this was quite interesting and seemed relevant for proper brain development and function, but apparently it doesn't apply to our brain, but it's still something we would want to consider for other parts of our